Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Regan Thompson. I started the freedomformula.xyz as my little place online where I can share stories and frameworks about my ongoing 10-year journey as an entrepreneur. The last two videos that I've done, I have alluded to another article that I've written called Freedom Has to Start Eventually. This video is that story. So here we go. In 2015, I started my own company, Lifeboat Scooters, born out of a mix of passion and desperation, built on a dream, funded by passion, and backed by reputation. That ethos would eventually carry my products to tens of thousands of scooter riders all over the world. However, to start, I was just selling locally made handlebars to other riders in my hometown of Brisbane, Australia. The first small batch I had produced was officially sold out, so I was overdue for a re-up. I took every cent I had to my name and ordered as many handlebars as I could. It was $3,000 and that got me 40 pairs of handlebars. That was everything I had, but it was everything I needed. I formulated a plan to launch an online scooter store where I could sell my Lifeboat products alongside other, more established brands in the industry. I say products now as a friend of mine from France, Kevin Demey, who is a freestyle scooter design pioneer, had helped me to turn a shoddy Google SketchUp design into a fully factory-ready CAD file ready for production. But others in the industry were not so keen on seeing me get established. Only one out of the 5 major distributors agreed to supply me, stating that since I don't have a physical store, I didn't really have any skin in the game, like I wasn't invested enough. Some had policies, some just didn't want to piss off their other retailers, but the verdict was out. If I wanted to play with the big boys, then I needed my own physical storefront. But remember when I said I spent my life savings on a batch of bars? Opening a physical store was simply not on the cards for me. I had launched multiple physical stores for other people, so I had a pretty good idea of what kind of costs would be associated. Slatwall alone costs thousands of dollars. So I stuck to my guns and launched my own online store with my own gear and product from the one supplier who would stock me. Shout out to Dean and Jackson Cowcut from Downside Scooters for giving me a chance when nobody else cared to. The online store was launched, a team was forming, and the hype was building. Orders weren't exactly flying out the door, but my bars were moving just enough that I could scrape by each week. I can't quite recall who initiated the conversation, probably me, but the owner of a shoe company in the industry and I started talking and discussing the possibility of forming a partnership. I had the idea, the vision, the riders, and the experience, but I was missing a crucial resource that any fledgling business needed: money. That's where Chris from Vex came in. He offered to put up $10,000 to help secure a lease and build out a physical store. Thank you to Chris for believing in me. I fully intended to take Chris up on his offer. In fact, I was scouting locations and getting estimates on fit-outs. I was moving full speed ahead. I mentioned to my friend Reese, who told his dad, Muzz. Muzz used to run a popular pie shop in Cooperoo, which he'd recently sold as well as his house. And one day, while Muzz was picking Reese up from a ride, he came over to me and rather forwardly simply stated, $10,000 is nowhere near enough. If you need money for your business, let me know. Next thing you know, we're at a McDonald's pricing up my dream scooter shop. We're going to need bond, a sign on the roof, decals on the windows, slat wall, computers, a printer, and not to mention the stock. It didn't take long to hit that magic number, $50,000. That's what it was all going to cost, or that was our back of the napkin calculation at the time. Anyway, Muzz was officially in for $50,000. I was flat broke. My wife was paying all our bills, and I was surviving off handlebar, rationing the profits into cans of baked beans, 7-Eleven coffees, and Subway's infamous $2 toasties. But I was delusionally optimistic and beyond desperate to hack together a system where I could earn a living doing what I loved. I got the most minimal version of my product ready and released it, the bars. I put together the best website I could and I launched it with barely any product on it. All I did was start, and like planting a flag, I posted on the internet saying, "This is what I'm doing." And for me, it worked out better than I ever could have imagined. It's undeniable that I was lucky. Every day of my life, I wake up pinching myself. I spend hours of each day in absolute awe at the breaks that have gone my way. But I wouldn't say it was without input on my part. Increasing the surface area of luck is a concept I heard about much, much later in life, only to realize how accurately it describes a lot of my journey. I wasn't consciously increasing the surface area of luck when I started my own brand and launched my own online store. But in doing so, I created a larger surface area around me that the luck could land on. I never could have gotten that first offer, and I'm almost certain I would have never gotten the second. Imagine you're a dot and there's a small circle around you. That small circle is your luck surface area when you tell people around you about the thing you want to do. When you start doing it in any form you can, regardless of what limits restrict you from doing it to the level you wish you could, when you start telling every person you meet about it and start wearing shirts and hats about it, and start posting on the internet about it every day, that small circle around you explodes in size by a seemingly uncalculable and unfathomable proportion. Here's a little bonus story I would be remiss not to mention. My friend Levi started a business specializing in scooter workshops and events. Another friend who was familiar with Levi's business was approached almost randomly by someone looking for a scooter rider who would be interested in teaching a workshop at a youth center. He immediately thought of Levi and passed on the opportunity. This led to many more workshop opportunities at various youth centers, and Levi is now making a living by teaching scooter workshops. It's a clear example of how increasing one's luck surface area can lead to new and unexpected opportunities. By simply starting his business and telling people about it, Levi was able to increase his luck surface area and open the door to new possibilities. Without that initial step of making his business official and letting others know about it, the lead from his friend could never have found its way to him. It illustrates how small initial actions like just starting and saying, "I'm doing this," can have such a huge impact on the opportunities we come across in our lives. See, I can't promise you that if you just start, you'll wake up with $50,000 in your bank account or instant offers for high-paying ongoing work. But I can promise that you'll start learning things that you never knew you needed to. You'll also have taken one of the biggest and hardest steps entrepreneurs can take on their journey. You'll have done something that the overwhelming majority of people could simply never muster up the courage to do. Try. At the time of creating this project, the Freedom Formula, I truly have no idea what exactly it will be or how it will go. But I'm taking my own advice and I'm just starting. I've had my life changed so dramatically from doing it before that now I just trust the feeling. I trust that voice that says, "There's something here. You've thought about it every day for as long as you can remember. It's painfully obvious you want to do this." I believe that the key is just starting and actively increasing my luck surface area by telling people about my business and my ideas, especially on the internet. I increase the chances that the luck will find me. The example of Levi shows how by simply telling his friends about his business, he was able to increase his luck surface area, and it opened doors to opportunities he never would have otherwise had. Eventually, you have to just start. Don't wait for everything to be perfect before you take the first step. That is Fortune Favors Freedom, previously referred to as Freedom Has to Start Eventually. Thank you so much for listening or watching. See you next time.